In this video, I'll walk through how to use the page segment builder in SEO workflows. So what this tool is really for is, of course, building page segments. But what would we actually use that for? In SEO, you could use page segments for just about any type of data analysis, and it's pretty critical to do so. You could use, your core page types, which might be article, service, category, product, everything else, right? But then you could get more granular. You could start talking about different topics to understand how different topics are performing. You could also use this for competitor analysis. So you could build similar categories amongst you and your competitors and do a data analysis comparing the two. The aim of this tool is to make this a much smoother, much faster process and provide you with better, more detailed categorizations than realistically you're going to do by yourself. So an example output, like you can see right here, this is just for a single website. I don't work with Fool in any capacity, but use them just to pull some example data. I pulled their URLs, and then you see, the page type level 1, page type level 2, or it's called subtype, the domain industry, the page topic, the industry normalized, and the topic normalized, and the topic confidence. So that is kind of the overview of what you're going to get here. And if we actually plug this in, I pulled pages. So there's 900 total right now. You can do up to 3,000. I pulled pages from NerdWallet, Bankrate, and the Points Guy. How I did this is that I just went into SEMrush, or you could use Ahrefs, or really any tool, or you could just scrape the pages right. You come in, you put in their URL, went to pages, exported, pulled the top, about 300 pages per domain, and then I'll hit Run Page Segment Builder, and it will be on its way. So what it's actually doing in the background, right, is that it's going through, running some data analysis. It's pulling the actual content of the pages, using the content plus its URL to come up with what it thinks the page type is, that subtype, the topic, the industry, all of those kind of things. Always keep in mind that this is AI doing this, right? So it's not going to be perfect in all cases. You do want to give it a good QA, but it'll still be able to provide you with much more detailed categorization than you're realistically gonna kind of do yourself. When the job is finished, you'll see the results will have this icon here indicating that. You'll also get a notification. You'll see the access to the input parameters. You could copy those if you would like. You see how long the job took a few minutes there. This is a rather longer job just because of the amount of processing that needs to happen. And then you could come in, you could download the entire file, and you could see a preview. It does not show the entire output, just shows a preview. So we'll have to click here to view the full output. Okay, so here's the output. We see the page URL, the page types, the level 2 page types, the domain industry, the page topic, the normalized industry. So this is just a cleaned up version of the industry, and that's the industry of the specified page, and the topic normalized. So that's looking at this and providing a normalized version of that, meaning it groups more pages together. This was done at the page level. So the AI is coming in, looking at the URL and saying, or the URL and the content, and saying, what is the topic of this page? And then because that could create hundreds of different topics, right? There's no normalization. It goes back through and it makes clusters of alike topics. So let's do a quick view of the type of analysis that we could do with this. Let me create a few columns here, and we'll do some quick VLOOKUP. So let's do domain, traffic, and to maybe keywords. I have the data from SEMrush right here. So we have traffic, domain. Let's just do traffic and domain. Keep it simple for now. So we'll do a few VLOOKUPs. So that's domain. So we want the second column and the fifth column. And then we'll just copy this, move over here, and we'll use the fifth column, bring these formulas down. Okay, so we have the domain, the traffic, and all of our page types now. Now we could come in here, let's insert a pivot table, and now we can do some interesting things. So we could look at domain, let's use the topic, and let's put that above the domain, and let's put traffic in here. Sort this by traffic. So we can now see by topic, and maybe we'll put page URL as a count as well. So we can now see, for example, what topics and how many pages exist within each topic and how much traffic is actually being driven by each of these topics. So we could see by personal finance, credit card insights, et cetera, et cetera. We could break this down a few other ways, right? So another way we could break this down is that we could come in here for our page type. And so now we have commercial pages, the number of pages, we have the home pages being compared to each other, we have the informational pages and navigational pages. So just by doing that very, very quick process, we can now do this kind of competitive analysis, comparing different page types to one another, looking for new opportunities, all very, very fast. Yes, keep in mind, as I mentioned before, there are instances where these groupings won't be perfect because of the fact that it is being done by AI. But again, the amount of value and the amount of insights you could get from such a quick analysis is honestly incredible. This is one of my favorite things to do when just coming into a new client, trying to understand their website, their competitive landscape, those kind of things. I like breaking open this kind of report, building some page segments, and really getting an idea of what's out there. We could now use the level 2 page type. We could see by guide, by calculator, by product listings, by how to's. Again, I know I mentioned this before. There might be some overlap here. There might be some things we want to adjust the groupings and whatnot. But this is pretty valuable. This is pretty insightful based on the level of effort we just put in. All we had to do, go into SEMrush, download the data sets, dump those pages into the tool, download the output, VLOOKUP the output into the SEMrush data. And now we have all of these different pretty valuable views to understand the competitive landscape. So this is just one example. You can do this in many other ways to get valuable insights. But I do think that that competitive analysis is such an important way to use this kind of data set. So that's an overview of this tool. Just to recap, you come into the page segment builder. You come in, you load up to 3,000 URLs into this page URL drop. You could get that from anywhere. You could get that from SEMrush, Ahrefs, scraping the pages. There's countless ways you could gather this data. You run the job, you get the output, and that's really up to you how you want to use that data. I personally like merging it together with other data sources to run further analyses, but the sky is really the limit. I think that's all for this video. Of course, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, comments, feature requests. That's about it for the time being, though. Thank you.